If you're wondering how to stay fresh on the hiring manager's mind after the interview, this is what you need to do. I'm going to tell you, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Explearning Communications, where we discuss strategies for clearer speech, stronger relationships, and successful careers. Today, we're discussing thank you notes after your interview. So we're going to discuss why they're important to prep for and also how you go about writing a thank you note. So by preparing the interview thank you note before even having the interview, what you're doing is actually outlining what you will get out of the interview. And that is so powerful. So you may be thinking, well, I haven't had the interview yet, so how am I supposed to write a thank you note? Duh. Well, okay, here is what the logic is behind doing this. You have a sense as to what you're going to be discussing in the interview because you know what the job description is, you know what the role is about because you've read the JD, the job description, and you just have a sense of what they're going to ask because you weren't born yesterday and chances are you've already had tons of interviews, right? So you already know a lot more than you think you do. What do we include in the thank you note? So a great template that you can use that we've created here at Explearning is the following. First, you want to include something about thanking them for their time, right? So this you can obviously prep in advance. You're going to thank them for the time that they spent with you out of their busy schedule. Now, the second thing you want to do is you add an insightful observation that came up in the interview that has to do something about their product or their service or their company or the skills that you shared with them. Maybe you brought up an anecdote, maybe they brought up an anecdote. So you are drawing on the actual interview. So to do this ahead of time, you want to think about the direction you're going to take in the interview. You're outlining and you're setting yourself up for success. Then number 3, you want to add and you want to get across your excitement and your enthusiasm and your passion for working at that company, for being in that role, for working with the person who interviewed you, for developing the product that you've discussed. Anything that can point to how enthusiastic and how excited you are. Because if you're not, then why did you apply there in the first place, right? So you have to make sure that you're showing your passion and you're really getting that across. And by prepping this part of the thank you note ahead of time, that's going to prime you for the interview and you're going to show your enthusiasm. And I'm not talking bounce off the walls, right? I'm talking about being authentic, showing your enthusiasm that is authentic to you. Some people show their enthusiasm more reserved, more silently, maybe more covertly than other people who might be more extroverted and really show that on their face, the energy in their voice, their gestures, their nonverbals. But you do you, but make sure whatever way you show your enthusiasm and your passion comes through in the interview. It'll make it so much better and so much more memorable for you and for the hiring manager. So build that into your prep thank you note. And that way you'll also do it in the interview. Hint, hint. And the last thing you want to do is say that you are looking forward to continuing the conversation because it is a conversation and that does not stop in the interview itself, right? So the further along you get in the process, the more conversations you have and the more you get to discuss your value adding and your ability to contribute meaningfully to their company. So that's it, Explearners. That's all you need to do. But remember, I want you to prep your thank you note ahead of the interview because it's really going to help outline the way you want it to go. And it's going to implicitly outline what you hope to get out of the interview, which will serve you really well. And it's also going to help you pay attention to things like showing your enthusiasm, talking about the way you can add value to their company, to their products, to their services, so that you'll remember to do those things. So make sure that you go through and think about all the things you can say in your thank you note and follow our guidelines so that you're really ready. And remember, after having the interview, you can always tweak the draft. That is the beauty of doing this ahead of time because you have something to work with and it's not just a scary blank slate that you are looking at after the fact, right? So make sure that you practice these, test them out, write them out, prepare your draft in advance, and then go back after the interview and tweak it. And then it's ready to send off. Carrier pigeon awaits. All right, Explearners, that's a wrap on this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Do give it a thumbs up. It means so much to us. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel out, and it allows us to make more videos like this for you, because we want to help you become the best communicator you can be, and so that you can rise to meet any personal and professional communication challenge that comes your way. I will see you in the next video. Happy Explearning!